Does your MacBook Pro have Staingate? Do you even know what Staingate is? Well, in this video, I'm going to go over what Staingate is and how to remove it from your 2012 to 2015 MacBook Pro and make the screen look great again. And I'm going to go through the proven solution that actually works. It's not Listerine. It's not glass wipes. It's not any other chemical that I could find in my house because I've tried them all. It's actually something that you can buy for about 10 bucks off Amazon. So let's get started. All right, let's talk about Staingate repair. So Staingate, this is where the lamination on MacBook Pros, MacBooks within the, and actually looking at the Wikipedia article here, it's a bad problem when you've got a Wikipedia article, mid-2012 to mid-2015, right? And I've seen this multiple times. I've had multiple different devices with this issue, and I've repaired it multiple times. Now, repair, we'll talk through how it's basically just removing the lamination. That is the goal here. There's a lot of different strategies out there that people have talked about, but we're gonna walk through an actual solution that I've used multiple times and had great success with it. Traditionally, the types of machines that I've fixed, you can see here in this upper image, Staingate works its way from the outside, and then around this image as well, sort of along the keyboard. And I believe it's caused by the heat from the machine over time, basically breaking down the lamination. It usually isn't as noticeable when the screen is on, but you turn the screen off and you can absolutely see it. And depending on the severity, it can be super distracting, even with the machine turned on. So it will look like this over time. Some machines are worse, some are better. And this is actually a way that I've gotten some great deals on some different MacBook Pros because they have really bad lamination issues. And then I've just gone ahead and fixed it. So let's talk about what you actually need, and then I'll walk through the process with the spare screen that I have. So go out to Amazon, and what you're gonna search for is glass etching cream. All right, here is your Armor Etch. Now this is a 10-ounce bottle. Holy crap, you do not need that much. 22-ounce bottle, this is ridiculous. You're gonna go for something more like the 2.8 ounce, right? Just a little bottle of this stuff. You don't need a ton of it, and I think the key thing here is you mostly just need time and patience. It's still gonna take 60 minutes or so to actually apply the etching cream. Other solutions that people have brought up before to actually fix this kind of issue, I think it was Lysol spray, special glass wipes, Listerine, so using mouthwash to try and remove it. I've tried all those solutions, and no, none of them are perfect, right? The only one that really gets the job done, with a little bit of a caveat that I'll talk about, and there's ways to mitigate it, is the Armor Etch. It will 100% remove the Staingate problem. It will remove the laminate coating off of the screen. All right, so the camera's a little low here because I'm going to be adjusting it so that we can actually see the process, but I want to run through the materials you are going to need before you start to remove Staingate from your screen. All right, so I got the Armor Etch here. I now have a cloth that is as smooth as I possibly could get, microfiber preferred, right? You want something that when you're applying this abrasive material won't actually scratch the screen once you removed the laminate. And then the last one is a wet paper towel. In this case, you could use another towel once again just to remove the Armor Etch, because time is going to be your friend and your enemy in this process. Friend in a sense of Armor Etch takes a little while for it to start to dissolve the laminate off of the screen. But if you continue to leave it on the screen for too long, once the laminate is dissolved and removed by your towel, you're going to run into additional issues, additional scratching of the screen. Found that one out the fun way. Let's just say that. Okay, so let's go ahead and shift the focus now to the screen itself. All right. Well, turn it around so we've got a better view here. In this process, once again, fairly straightforward. About 2 minutes of rubbing of this stuff, and then you clean it off. Now, I've tried Listerine, I've tried glass wipes, I've tried every household chemical that I possibly could, and Armor Etch is the only thing that actually works here, guys. Everything else is maybe if the laminate is almost completely off the screen already. So I'll go ahead and first wipe off a little spot here. This is a test screen that, well, actually I removed it in an old video. It was broken when I received it and I replaced the screen. So I'm going to go ahead and just put a little bit of armor etch onto the screen, and I'm going to rub it in a circular pattern, just around and around. And the thing is, you'll actually see it dry out over time, and you'll want to apply more, of course. But doing an entire screen, you're probably looking at 60 minutes. Now, let me show you what I've started to see here. You can actually see a bullet hole forming. So as I wipe the armor etch on the screen, after about 20 seconds of rubbing, the laminate will just come off. Even on this screen, which actually was in pretty solid condition. Okay, so now I'm starting to see the laminate come off. Boom. Okay, so we got a pretty good hole now in the laminate. Let me go ahead and wipe that off with the cloth. All right, awesome. So you can actually see there is some laminate still there, but you can actually see it looks bad on camera. It actually looks like I've ruined this screen. But essentially, with a little bit more rubbing, I'm just removing the laminate. So this screen, yes, if you have a perfectly wonderful intact laminate like this one without Staingate, you wouldn't want to remove this, right? Even a little bit around the edges, I honestly wouldn't recommend doing this process. But you can see the armor etch has completely removed the laminate. Well, about 90% of it. I need to rub a little bit more to remove the rest of it. But yeah, that's it. That's how much effort it takes. And you can actually watch the laminate come off, and then all you have to do is go ahead and wipe it off with a clean cloth, like I did here, and you're good to go. You can just continue that process all throughout the screen. The hardest part, of course, is going to be the edges, but there you are. You can even see the reflection of the camera here. Fairly straightforward. Easy, right? Okay. So there we go. That's it. You just need to apply a little bit of armor etch, circular patterns. You'll see the laminate come right off, wipe off the armor etch, and then continue in a new spot. The whole process, like I said, 60 minutes or so for the entire screen. And that's just because you want to be, pretty meticulous about getting it. And it might take 2 applications to remove all of the laminate in your first pass. And just remember, don't scratch the screen, right? You want to have a cloth that is not super abrasive when you're doing this. And yeah, overall, an excellent surface at the end of the game. Now, what are the downsides of removing the laminate? Well, the downside is going to be you're going to get more reflection. You're going to actually be able to turn off the screen and see yourself a lot better in it. But that's about it. My main MacBook Pro, I've had the laminate removed for a while now, and I don't notice that it's gone at all. If you sit in sunlight, you're going to notice a lot more reflection, but I don't sit in sunlight. I'm in a garage. All right, well, if you like the video, this helps you out, subscribe, like, all that kind of fun stuff. See you in the next one.